Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey has received major backlash all over the place, but now it's received backlash from the most important place, the place where the story originated from. What's rockin' my rock and rollers? Today's video is going to be on a interesting article I found regarding like the whole Odyssey casting, that's been going on, and I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about. I have not read this article, so we're gonna probably be reading this together, which would be kind of cool. But this is an article from the Greek City Times, which I looked them up. It's like a magazine newspaper over in Greece, and it's the equivalent to like. We have like the New York Times over here, or like Times Magazine. It's like, their version of that. They're like New York Times over there in Greece. And they published this article titled, "A Letter to Hollywood and Nolan's Odyssey Cast from Us Greeks." And it just says, by guest contributor. I guess he didn't want to, the author of the article didn't want to say his name, which is fine. But yeah, so I thought we'd just go over this. Here we go. Now, the reason I wanted to make a video on this topic is because this ties into a topic that I've been thinking about, which I still might make another video about it, or multiple, about how it feels that, I don't know if you want to say like the pendulum is swinging, but it feels like more people, as in like the normies, like the people who aren't turning online like we are, watching all this movie news. It seems that normal people are waking up to the fact that Hollywood and just, modern entertainment in general just hates them. They don't care about anything else. All they care about is themselves. And we see this from like, the Stranger Things writing, the Boys writing, just, Disney, all the Disney movies. Everywhere you look, it's kind of a clear example, at least to us, terming online people, that, oh yeah, the industry hates us. And normies, for the most part, haven't really received that, in my opinion. That it's not like they've all woken up and like boycotted it, but it does seem with stuff like this and the example I just mentioned that more and more people are waking up to the fact that, hey, these people might not have our best interests, or hey, this might not be what it used to be. So this ties into here. This one's actually kind of funny because it's the country where the original poem, the Odyssey, originated from. That just makes it even better. This is just like, this is not as bad, but this is like when Netflix did that Cleopatra like movie or show, whatever, and they made Cleopatra black, and the country of Egypt sued Netflix for like disrespecting their culture. Oh god, you love to see it, man. Oh man. Anyway, with all that said, let's get started. So I already said, a love letter to Hollywood and Nolan's Odyssey cast from us Greeks. So here we go. Make sure I'm in frame here still. Okay. To the cast and creative team of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, we write to you as Greeks, not as fragments of antiquity, not as echoes from museum displays, and not as characters sealed in marble, but as a living people whose story has never stopped being written. Okay. First, we wish you well. Cinema has always carried the power of. Cinema has always carried the power to reimagine ancient texts, to cross borders of language and time, and to reintroduce old stories to new generations. Homer's The Odyssey belongs, in many ways, to the shared cultural imagination of humanity. We understand that the ambition behind bringing it to the screen on a global scale, and we recognize the artistic tradition of reinterpretation that has surrounded these epics for centuries. But we also ask you to consider something that is often overlooked in modern retellings of Greek stories. I actually like that. It's not just Greek, not to diminish the Greeks. I'm not doing that for you, Greek people. I'm not doing that. But like, yeah, it's like Hollywood, does everything. They don't look and they overlook anything, and just now like it's sad that Greeks like next on the chopping block, so to speak. We did not vanish. Greek people did not disappear after the age of myth. Greek culture was not frozen in classic marble. Greek language was not extinguished in antiquity. I think that's how the word is, so I don't know how to pronounce that. We are still here. For more than 3,000 continuous years, Greek identity has persisted through transformation rather than disappearance. From the, I'm going to put this, Mycenaean world, sorry if I mispronounced that gave rise to the Homer epics, through the classical city-states of Athens, Sparta, Corinth, and Thebes. I think that's how you say it. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing all these Greek names. Through the Roman and Byzantine eras, where Greek remained the dominant language of administration, philosophy, theology, and into the Ottoman centuries, where identity was preserved through language, faith, and community, and finally into the modern Greek state that emerged through the Revolution and continues today with Europe and the wider world. At every stage, something essential remained unbroken: language, memory, and cultural continuity. Greek is still spoken to this day, the oldest continuously surviving language in Europe, not reconstructive, not revived, but lived. That continuity matters when stories like the Odyssey are retold. Odysseus is not only a universal symbol of endurance, strength, and homecoming, he is also a part of cultural inheritance that has been carried through every one of those historical layers, retold by Byzantine scholars, preserved in manuscripts copied through the medieval world, studied during the Renaissance, and still taught, spoken, and reinterpreted in Greece today. This is why conversation and representation matters deeply to us. We are not asking for inclusion or limitation. No, exclusion, sorry. So let me just read that. We are not asking for exclusion or limitation. We are not arguing against diversity, nor against reinterpretation. Greek culture itself has always been shaped by exchange, migration, and encounter across centuries. What we are asking is something simpler and more human. That when Greek stories are retold on a global stage, Greek people are not rendered invisible to them. 100% agree. Let's see. In recent years, the film industry has rightly placed increasing emphasis on representation, ensuring that cultures are acknowledged, voices are included, and lived experiences is not erased in the process of storytelling. Indigenous stories increasingly involve indigenous voices. Cultural consultation is becoming more the standard practice. Identity is treated as a part of artistic responsibility. We ask only that this awareness extend to Greek heritage as well, not because Greek identity is fragile, but because it's continuous. In discussion on the Odyssey, some have argued that mythology belongs to the world and should not be bound by cultural origin. Others see casting diversity as a reflection of the modern global audience rather than historical specificity. I just butchered that word, but specificity. I can never pronounce that word, specific. We understand those perspectives, but universality does not require a disconnection from the origin. Excuse me. A story can belong to humanity while still recognizing its people and the language from which it first emerged. We say this not in anger, but in recognition, because too often Greek history is treated as something that ended rather than something that continued, as if Greeks exist only in classical past, rather than through the Byzantine continuity, through the Ottoman endurance, through the revolutionary rebirth, and to its present day in cities, villages, islands, and the diaspora communities across the globe. So as you step into Homer's world, into the seas, wandering gods, returning kings, we ask that you carry this awareness with you, that Greece is not only a setting in antiquity, I think I said that right the first time. It is a living country. Greek people are not historical figures, we are contemporaries, and when future opportunities arise to tell stories from any period of Greek history, ancient, medieval, modern, we hope you remember that Greek heritage is not absent from those stories. It is present, living, and still speaking for itself. We wish you success for the film and respect the craft that brings such an epic to life, and we hope that it contributes to cinema that continues to expand imagination without erasing origin. We did not vanish. We are still here through Mycenaean echoes, through classical philosophy, through Hellenistic expansion, through Byzantine continuity, through Ottoman endurance, through modern nationhood. We remain, always have. Given Hollywood's and the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science rules and insistence for minority representation, authenticity, and diversity, where are the Greeks or the Greek Americans in this Greek story? That the audience indicating in the last part, I just go through the cast and like here, Matt Damon, American, English, Finnish, Tom Holland, English, Anne Hathaway, American, Irish, French. Oh, she has French in her. Zendaya, African American, German, Scottish, Lupita Nyong'o, Kenyan, and Mexican. Oh, really? She's Mexican? Huh. Charlize Theron, South African, Afrikaner. Like, yeah, no Greeks. I don't think there's any Greeks at all. Let's see. Let me go through the rest of the cast. Pattinson, John Bernthal, John Leguizamo. No, there's not one. There's not one Greek person on this cast at all. Like, even in their history, there's none. Wow, I did not know that. I knew the cast, like, the primary origin was not Greek, but no, this really is not, like, oh, I'm like 5% Greek. No, there's none of that in the cast. At least the main cast. Huh. Oh, I guess I should say this last part. We Greeks didn't start the fire, Hollywood did, and when it started banging on its self-righteous drum of diversity, pontificating about authenticity instead of creative freedom, we just decided to expose the hypocrisy by dancing to that drum beat. After all, this magazine believes in free cultural trade and not cultural protectionism. And that's the end. So, yeah, so now the Greeks are pissed off. Where to go, Nolan and Hollywood? But yeah, I just wanted to, that was my live reaction. I just wanted to show this to you guys and talk kind of about, the theme of this channel, which is, pushing back against, I guess, modernism, if you want to wrap it all up. And yeah, stuff like this, like the Odyssey, like, I'm torn. It's like, on one hand, like, I am kind of excited still, because, like, it's, Greek gods and monsters. Granted, I don't know how that's going to go with Nolan handling the gods, with, the rumors and, like, kind of quotes he's been saying. I don't know how he's going to handle the gods, and it looks like it won't be that good. Fingers crossed. I hope it is. I hope it's not true, but I hope it is. But on the other hand, the casting is so bad, which is just baffling, because, like, it's Nolan. Usually he's, like, very scientifically accurate, very, like, science focused, but for this one he's just like, oh no, let's just throw that all out the window. We don't need that. But yeah, that's really it, guys. With that said, what do you guys think? But more importantly, for those of you, if you do find this, if you live in Greece and you find this, what are your thoughts? Do you, are you excited for the Odyssey? Do you agree with this article? Maybe you agree with, Christopher Nolan, the casting decision? I don't know. But bottom line is, what are you guys' thoughts? Please like and subscribe and comment below.